Alright guys, welcome to today's video. I'm going to take you through a quick, intense shoulder workout, which is literally just going to focus on the mid-delt. It's something which I've been wanting to work on recently because I feel as though it's a weak point of mine and I feel like my chest is taken over, so I'm trying to add a little bit more width to the shoulders. So you could go to the gym, you could do these 4 exercises back to back, probably take you about 40 minutes or something, or you could just throw in another muscle group, 2 exercises, 3 exercises, along with this workout itself, okay? So let's get started with exercise number 1. So we're going to start off with a seated dumbbell lateral raise, nothing too fancy. I want you to do it seated to minimize any rocking backwards and forwards. Key things to think about: keep your shoulders fixed in place and drive the weight up with the intention of lifting your elbows up. So first 2 sets, 12 reps. We're going to make the last 2 sets a little bit more intense. So the third set, we're going to do 12 reps and then we're going to do 8 to 10 partial reps. So a partial rep is basically the bottom half of the movement. Then on the last set, what we're going to do is the same thing again. 12 reps full range, then 8 to 10 reps partial. Then we're going to drop the weight. So I've got 8 kilograms here. I'm going to drop the weight to 5 kilograms. And I'm just basically going to rep it out until complete failure. Now when you are doing the drop sets, the partial reps, things are going to get a little bit sloppy. It's going to be really, really hard for you to keep your shoulders depressed and to minimize any trap engagement. What you have to do is just really focus on trying to keep your form as strict as possible and just really pumping it out. So if it feels like you've literally got daggers going into your delt, that's a good sign. Your delts are working. Literally just keep going until you cannot move the weight up anymore. So now we're going to move on to a lying cable lateral raise. We're going to aim for around 12 to 15 reps. What I do is I put my thumbs over the handle, try and reduce the amount which my forearm is engaging. A lot of people tend to externally rotate when doing this one, so that basically means when it comes to the top of the movement, their thumbs are pointing upwards and a lot of the tension is being placed on their front delt. This is happening because it's just easier for you to move the weight up and for your front delt to do the work, because most people do tend to have stronger front delts. So to keep the tension on the mid delts, you just have to keep checking from side to side to make sure your form is on point, and make sure that when you are at the top part of the movement, your palms are flat.
Try and push the hips back. Where did your boys go to swim? Bradley did quite well.
No, they got beaten by Eton.
Yeah, and then each quarter,
Eton won.
They got a scotch with a load of... Did you see the size of them?
Next exercise, we're going to go back to a dumbbell lateral raise, but a little bit of a variation. So I'm going to set the bench pretty much on a full incline, so it's almost upright, just leaning back a bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lean forward on this. So this is going to prevent me from swinging backwards and forwards, and it's going to place a little bit more emphasis on the rear part of my mid-delt, right? So obviously this is the third exercise, so he's going to be a little bit fatigued now. So I'm going to use a lighter weight, about 5 kilos here. I'm going to go for higher reps, okay? Nice and slow control, keep the tension. Let's aim for about 15.
10 minutes from 50 off,
And every now and then I recommend you just check to one side to see that the tension is where you want it to be, on that rear portion of the mid-delt. Right, so I'm into my second set. What I've actually done is lowered the weight, dropped it by 1 kilo because I was finding it difficult to stick to the tempo, especially for the last 6 reps of that previous set. So I really want to keep it slow and controlled, so don't be afraid to drop it if you need to. So last set, all out. Let's go to failure, partial reps at the bottom.
Now when you're doing this final all-out set, the same thing goes for what I said before in the first exercise. You just have to keep your form as tight as possible, right? So it's going to take a lot of discipline for you to not rock backwards and forwards and for you to try and shrug that weight up. So if it means you need to lower the weight, then just lower the weight.
Well, then they can pour you the drink.
So the last exercise we're going to do is a single arm dumbbell lateral raise, but we're going to tweak it a little bit. We're going to change the angle of the torso. So you're going to get the bench, put it about 45 degrees, you're going to lean to the side, and what this is basically doing is it means it's going to be harder at this point in the movement. So with this one, a fixed range of motion. No lower than this point, no higher than this point. If you come here, you're not working any of the muscle, you're just resting, okay?
Something which I do slightly differently with this exercise is I keep my arm fully straight, so the elbow is pretty much locked out. Now, I wouldn't usually do this on a dumbbell lateral raise because I do find that when I do this, my traps over-engage. Whereas with this one, because I've set myself up differently, my torso is at an angle, I find that that doesn't happen when I lock my arm out.
If you do have a weaker side, start with that one first. Straight into the other side once you've done one, and then a short break. You're not going to need as long as a break because one side is resting whilst the other is working.
So your feet, they don't have to be what I define. You will find a position where you are on top of your knee with extension. By the way,
Alright guys, so that is the routine. Like I said, you could either just go to the gym and do that, or throw in a few other exercises as well on top of that. But like I said, this is something which I'm trying to work upon, so that is my focus. I'm not really focusing on front delt or rear delt because a lot of front delt work is getting done when I do chest, and rear delt same with my back. So that is that. Description of the workout is below. Check it out if you want to give it a try. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon.